way.
Yeah.
So
Jacob, I thought we were moving the shear permanently to 9 o'clock.
I know. I think the pshara was at 9 o'clock we'll start talking the hak, right? Reb Zev Bald, and But listen.
Now it's time.
Yeshua Marchuk tonight is probably the most important daf. No, but I'm serious.
Tomorrow night
is the most important.
No. That's true. That's true. I don't know if that was from Reader's Digest. Tonight's the most important daf, right? Okay.
Jacob, you're gonna lose the nemanis. You're gonna lose the nemanis here.
Today,
you already lost the nemanis.
I want you to know the last few days I said was not important. I said it straight out. I said it's not important. I said it's lumdisha stuff. It's not so much practical. I did say it. I'm by Dalem.
The exceptions to the rule.
You've given us a real impression of how excited you are about every blot of Gemara. That is for sure.
Halavai.
That is for sure. We should all get the Geshmak and Torah that you get.
Halavai. Okay, amen. But by me, I'm saying it on. But but tonight is Boirer. Okay, tonight is Boirer. The whole sugya from Kemat, the entire sugya of Boirer, is in one brisa.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
No, it's not complicated. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's really as Gemaras go. As Gemaras go, it's relatively easy, but it's probably.
Yeah. Where in the daf are we?
We are on Ayin Daled.
Ayin Daled, Amud base. Where on the base?
Ayin Gimel to the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
73B3. 73B3. Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's what I know. I know. Telly, that's what I'm asking. You know what? Good on you, man. Good on you. That's a good friend. That's a good friend right there.
Yeah. Anyway, so
are you putting one now?
Okay, now we could officially start, right? Because it's 9:15.
No, I thought we were waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's.
You still can't play him up if he's late now.
That's true. Yep, that is true. But it's for Ma'ariv. He's doing outdoor Ma'ariv. That's why. So it's not for any other reason. Anyway, Chazorah from yesterday. Yeah, I actually think I sent it out today. No.
Yeah. This morning.
Yeah. So just the Chazorah from yesterday. So we just finished up the sugya of Misasik. Then we had the mission of the Lamed Tes Malachos, right, which would be kedai to go through all those Lamed Tes Malachos, but we won't do that now. Then we said why the Mishnah gives a number, which we said if you forget all of them in one forgetting, you got to bring 39 separate karbonas. Then we said why planting comes before plowing, because in Eretz Yisrael the land is so tough that they actually they put the planting in and then they plowed. Pruning, and then we said this is another important yesod, not as important as tonight's. Okay, that you can do malacha, one malacha, having that in mind, having one malacha in mind, but really can be over on two. Like pruning, you can be over on kaitzer, which is what do you call it? How do they call kaitzer? Whatever.
Harvesting,
not harvesting. There's a name for it. Whatever.
Reaping.
Reaping. Thank you. Reaping. Right, and then you could also be over on planting, because by you cutting the trees, by pruning them, you're actually making them grow more, right? Then we said digging and plowing are all part of plowing. Fixing the dirt floor of a house is considered baina, right? Doing the same thing, you can do two of the same things, be over in two different isurim. If you do it in your house, on the dirt floor of your house, and you crush some dirt, that's going to be baina, that's building. If you do it in the field, then that's going to be plowing. Right. Then we said a very important yesod that now we did say yesterday there was a very important yesod that malacha sheina tzricha legufa, meaning in order for a malacha to be asa midaraisa, you need to do the malacha for the reason that it was done in the mishkan. Right. If you're doing it for a different reason than it was done in the mishkan, then it's not considered. It's called malacha sheina tzricha legufa. It's a malacha that doesn't need. It's a malacha that doesn't need, doesn't meet the needs of why they did it in the Mishkan. So basically, if you're digging a hole in the ground because you need the dirt, that's not plowing. If somebody needs to go to his field and he needs some dirt. He's not going to tell somebody, I'm going to plow my field because I need dirt. You go to plow your field because you need to plant there. If you need dirt, you say, I'm going to go dig myself a hole to get some dirt, right? So how can you call that plowing? That's a machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. Most poskim say go with Rabbi Shimon that it's a derabanan, not a deraisa. The Rambam actually paskins that it's a deraisa. But most say it's a derabanan, right? So most say it's a derabanan, and it has very, very great ramifications with that, because anything that's a derabanan, we know we have a lot more leeway to be makel with, right? Okay, so that's basically where we left off. So now we're up to Kaitzer, around 10 lines up on Ayin Gimel Amud Beis. I don't know which page of the art scroll. Ayin Gimel Amud Beis 3, maybe 4.
73B3.
70B3. Okay, there you go. 73B3. Sound like a quarterback. Okay, Kaitzer, yeah. Yisrael's here. Perfect. Kaitzer, one who gathers. Tana HaKaitzer, HaBaitzer, VaHaGoider, VaHamasik, VaHoira. These are all different types of terms, but they all mean the same thing. One is for olives, one is for grapes, one is for, let's go through it. Kaitzer is for regular wheat or grain. Baitzer is for grapes. Goider is for dates. Masik is for olives. And oira is for figs. I think I didn't mix up figs and dates. Okay. Kula melacha achas, they're all considered one melacha. Right? They just have different names because they go for different fruits. Amar Papa, Haiman Deshada Pisa Ladikla. So a guy who throws something into a date tree for Asar Tamri, and then dates fall out, meaning he wants to get the dates out of the tree. So instead of climbing the tree, he takes a ball and throws it at the tree. Right? So he's chayiv shtayim. He's going to be chayiv 2. Achas mishum toilish, 1 because he's detaching. Achas mishum mefarek, and 1 because he's separating a good from a bad.
Is it not the regular way?
Oh, so that's what Gemara says. Rav Ashi Amar ain't derech tlisha b'kav. That's not the way you pick fruit. You don't pick fruit by throwing a ball at the tree, right? The regular way to do is to climb up there. Ain't derech prika b'kav, and that's not the way you do separating. So therefore, it's a shinoi, and therefore you will not be chayiv, right? That's another rule that we have for Shabbos, that anything that's done with a shinoi differently than it's supposed to be done is automatically downgraded to a d'rabbanan. That's why sometimes you'll ask a shaila, and they'll tell you do it with a shinoi, right? You do it with a shinoi, so therefore that makes it d'rabbanan, and the d'rabbanan is much more lenient to be made.
It's potter avalosa.
Potter avalosa, correct. But if you have to do it anyway, so we're going to tell you to do it with a shinoi, right?
Is this a grumma? Would this actually be considered like almost garmi, or you
what, when throwing the ball at the tree?
Yeah.
That's a good point. That might be grumma. It might be grumma. You don't like that, guys? You shouldn't like that.
Why should it be grumma?
Because you don't know if you're going to get you don't know if you're actually getting it down.
That's what I'm doing it for.
Automatic. I mean, it would depend how. Let's say it bounces off a branch and then hits the fruit.
But that's what I'm doing it for. Grum is when I do is more of a.
No, but you don't know. But you don't know for sure it's going to happen.
So what?
I would say it's more garmi. I don't know if it's grumma. It is more direct, but I don't know if it's mamish you getting it down.
Both grumma and garmi are more of a davashena miskaven type kind of action.
Right. Okay, right. I hear that. Okay, let's see weiter. Fama Amer, right? So Ma'amer is piling up. Amar of a haiman de konef milcha mi milchasa chayiv mishum Ma'amer. Somebody who gathers salt from a salt, like we had this before. When you run off the salt, they have these little things off of the Yam HaMelech, right? Where the salt comes in and then it dries up by the sun. So if you gather that salt, you're chayiv mishum Ma'amer for piling up. Abaya Amar ein imor el bigdulei karka. This whole piling thing only applies to things that grow from the ground, not for things that don't grow from the ground. Now, Ma'amer, just agav, it's not so important, but it does come up once in a while, right? If you spill fruit all over your floor, can you pick it up and pile it up and make it into one pile, right? Is that Ma'amer? You're gathering fruit, right? So it could be that it is, but really many parts can say it only is where it grows. If it's in your house, that's not an issue. But the main thing is ein imor el bigdulei karka. So therefore, if you spill something in your house like toys and somebody tells you to clean it up and you say, no, I can't do it, it's ma'amer, get from, no, sorry, it doesn't fly. Only by vegetables and fruit and things that grow from the ground, and that's it. All right? One of the classic cases, kids, especially Corona, right? So the kids are bored stiff, so they want to make these necklaces on Shabbos. They'll take the Fruit Loops or the Cheerios and they put it on, they make a necklace. That, according to many poskim, is ma'amer. That's piling up, and that's from the ground. Right, so that's...
But Fruit Loops are not from the ground. How are Fruit Loops in the ground?
What does that mean?
What do you mean? They're called Fruit Loops.
That's from corn or whatever.
You don't have
cereal.
a Fruit Loop tree, Liner? There's no Fruit Loop tree on
No,
your
we did
farm?
it this Shabbos. We did it this Shabbos. It was, but it's not what's it called. How's it? It's
you did it this
food.
I told you it was Corona, Shiloh. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sure,
I did it this.
Yeah, well,
Fruit
now
Loops
maybe
is
you should
cereal?
learn Hilchas Shabbos. Maybe this Shabbos you learn Hilchas Shabbos.
Fruit Loops is cereal you can't put on a string?
No, it's ma'amer.
But you just said
I
it has
wasn't
to do
even
with
going to
fruit.
say this case, but you see it's Bashert that I'm saying it. Listen,
You said it has to do with fruit.
What?
You said it has to do with fruit.
Hello, fruit or anything that comes from the ground. Anything that's in cereal, as poisonous as it is, right, Steve?
Right, it's all
as
processed.
poisonous as it is in cereal, it still comes from the ground.
Even though it changed its form and everything, it's still considered
Yes.
because it came from
Listen,
I was gonna say-
they are gonna be makilim, but I'm saying it's.
Is this only
Crazy,
according
did it
to...
First of all, one
Crazy
thing
did it this week.
seeing all the things Liner does wrong. But anyway, what about those what are those sugar things, like the taste of like lemon or whatever it is? Though it's like just pure sugar, but it's supposed to taste like lemon. Or
what about sugar itself? That also is a natural product.
Right, so that would be gathering, yeah.
One thing, what about like arranging food for the Shabbos, like on the like on a platter or something? That's not the same issue.
What? No.
Like arranging.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
No, because you're eating it, because you're about to eat it. No.
You're not. You're gathering it for gathering's sake. When you put it on a necklace, you're gathering it for gathering's sake.
No, they're not.
And when you put it on the food,
eat it. They're not. They're
no,
not.
When you're putting the food out on the table, it's a way to get it into your stomach.
Okay, without having a fruit bowl, a fruit basket, putting it all in a basket on your counter.
No, it's only if you're gathering it because you want it to be gathered.
But they don't want when they make the necklaces, they don't want it to be gathered. It's just a fun way.
What then? How they making a necklace then unless it's gathered?
Because it's an amusing way to eat.
Yeah,
that's
brought down.
ma'amer. Can I pour cereal into a bowl? That's also ma'amer.
No, because it has to be your kavanah to gather it.
But what's the kid's kavanah? The kid's kavanah is to eat it off the string.
If you make a fancy platter for the Shabbos table and you're stacking up food, that's
no, it's not a problem. It's not.
They don't take the fruit and dump it on there not nicely. They stack it up nicely.
So what?
Because they want it stacked.
Huh?
So Yaakov, they bring down in the bottom that from the fact that Gemara discusses a case of like you gathering salt from its source, that it has to be a buyer holds that your putter. It has to be where the crop is produced. So
Correct.
Any case, so that wouldn't apply to cereal. Your crop is not produced.
No, but not everybody
so
agrees
according
to that.
a lot of people would be chaylik and then hold that doing anything
Yes,
nowadays that you're meat.
I didn't say not. But there's many parts going to hold that it has nothing to do with where it's gathered at the place that it grew, right?
Are these the same poskim that hold the kidneys shenishtanu is also on Pesach me'ikar adin, not me'chumra?
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna. That's a stretch to do. Okay, I hear the lumdus. Anyway, I'm just throwing it out there. Naftali, I promise you, Naftali, you didn't. There's a lot worse things you could do on Shabbos. You know what I mean?
I didn't do it. Raji did it.
Okay, so kids, it's already a different. But there are
during Corona, we're makel on everything, and the one thing we're not letting our kids do is make necklaces out of cereal.
I didn't say you can't do it. I just said that poskim say that it shouldn't be done. That's all. Gathering it to look nice and not to. It has to be done for storage. That's the main thing.
So how is that storage?
Because you're putting it together to make a necklace. That's a storage. Again, I'm not saying everybody agrees to that. I'm just saying that's what.
So what about stacking plates? You wash plates and you stack them up. You put them back into the cabinet. Is that
well,
also?
The plates didn't grow from the ground.
That's also if you want your kids to have shidduchim.
Some of the plates could grow from the ground. Glass really comes from the ground, right?
Right.
Okay. But
what about paper plates?
Right, I hear that. So no, it's only a problem if you're gathering it that it should to storage. But if you're just gathering it not to storage, then it's not an issue.
I have a big fruit bowl on my island, right?
Right.
Big bowl of apples, and one of my kids knocks it over. Now all the apples are all over the floor. Can I pick up those apples and put them back in the bowl on Shabbos?
Not so simple. It's not so simple. It's really
so that
not.
I hear more than the necklace.
Okay, but it's really not simple. It's not simple at all.
Also, if I open a box of cereal and I have one of those plastic pouring containers, pouring it into there would be my armor from the box.
I hear.
Or sweeping it up and throwing it into the garbage.
No, because it's only if you're gathering it up to store it.
Well, I'm trying to store it in the garbage.
Okay, but that's not called storing. Okay, we got a lot of.
Maish says these questions should have been asked at 8 o'clock, not at 9:15. Here we're doing the daf. The halacha shir was earlier. Those could have jumped on earlier.
The mashkiach is in the house. All right.
I'm not sure where he's running to, but
he wants to come to the 10 o'clock mitre by his grandmother.
That's what he just said. He said he can't concentrate.
Okay, Vahadosh. Okay, let's go weiter because really butter is the main thing. The bottom line is I would like to come out tonight with the clarity on how to properly do butter, and then you don't have any of the butter issues because butter is the number one area where people are Machal Shabbos. That's without a doubt, hands down, butter is the number one thing. Okay, Vahadosh.
This whole shear is about going ahead and saving Yaakov time from answering our shilas.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? Butter shilas come up on Shabbos. Baruch Hashem, the phone is off on Shabbos. So that's.
Yeah, but it's never a mixture.
Yaakov, I heard you're more makel by Corona to leave the phones on. No.
Listen, there are some guys.
Only the
that
Zoom.
Have that. But let me tell you, somebody just texted me while we're learning over here that are we staying up a whole night Shavuos this year? I was like, I don't know, why not? I was saying, whatever. Anyways, Vahadosh, Tono, Hadosh, Vamanafit.
Yaakov, you just finished saying how it's almost impossible to wait this Zman by Shavuos night to make Kiddush without having a shul. You're telling me we're going to stay up a whole night by ourselves?
I didn't say we're going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it either. But I'm just saying we got to try. We got to try. That's all.
So Yaakov, who's going to say brachos? I don't understand. That's going to be a problem.
What do you mean? Who's going to say brachos?
If everyone's staying up all night.
One second, Akiva, that was the meme that going around that the guy who usually says brachos realized he's really not essential this year.
Listen, let me give you an eitzah toiva, okay? Just wherever you're going to be for Yom Tif, just make sure whoever's in the house that's going to sleep, let's say the ladies or whoever it is, like say you're going to stay up a whole night, go to sleep on the couch, but make them think that you were up a whole night so you could still sleep the whole day. I mean, just don't go to sleep. Otherwise, you're not going to get away with the whole day nap. You know what I mean? So you get both ends.
When is that shear? When is that shear to tell us all these tricks?
I don't know. We're supposed to. I don't know. After Corona. Anyway,
please, Paris, make a zoom for that, please. Paris, thank you.
Tomorrow night,
8:30. So these are also types of dash is crushing the wheat, right? Not crushing it to separate. Vamanafit is the comb, right? Vamanafit is also type of is to do the cotton, to beat the cotton, right? Therefore, those are all one malacha. This to me is a fascinating Gemara. I didn't say it's an important Gemara. I just said it's a fascinating Gemara. I found it to be fascinating, okay? But it's Corona, so the things to fascinate me is not maybe, desperate. But anyway, Hainu Zaira, Hainu Baira, Hainu Marak. All three are the exact same thing. Zaira means to throw it up in the air, right? And you want the wind to come blow the chaff. Today would have been a good day, right? For that. You throw it up in the air and it blows it away, okay? Bairer is to also separate, and Meraket is sifting. They're all three exactly the same thing. Not exact, but close enough. Why do we have 3 of the 39 malachas, right? It's a pretty obvious kasha. Agav, let's not go down here. Zaira, the Machmirim say you can't spray a deodorant can because that's Zaira, because you're putting the deodorant through the air and it's spreading it out. Most places do not go with that chumrah. Okay? But anyway, so that's so those 3 are the same. So right? Anything that was in the mishkan, even though there are similar ones to it, we still count all 3. So since there was Zaira, Baira, and Marakin in the Mishkan, therefore we count all three. So then Gemara says, "V'lichashem nami kaitish." Why don't we also say kaitish, which is crushing, in order to get the peel off of the wheat? No, the reason why we don't count that is because a poor person is going to want to get as much nutrients as he can, so he's going to eat that also, right? Rav Amar, so that's why we can't count katisha. Rav Amar, Hamani Rebbe, no, it's Rebbe. The Amar Avos Malachas Abayim Chaser Achas. It's going according to Rebbe, who says Avos Malachas is 40 minus 1. The Ichash of kaitish, and if you're going to count kaitish, Havi Le'arbaim, then you're going to have 40. So then the Gemara says,
that doesn't.
I know. So
okay.
This gets back to the previous Gemara we had around 10, 15 blot ago, which was that for some reason you need to have 39. You got to have 39. You got to fit it into 39. So the Gemara says, good. So take away one of these other ones and put in kaitish, right? Elo machbar teked. So the pshat is like a baya, right? But really, in the Gemara's havamina is that you have to have 39, and really they could have played around with it. They could have theoretically played around with it, right? Which
Who's
we're going to see.
Who's the Tana that holds that there's more than 39 or less than 39?
No, there's nobody that holds that. No, there's nobody.
It's mashma from the Gemara. It's Hamani
because
Rebbe.
It's going according to Rebbe.
As opposed to?
No, that's what you're saying. That's what you're asking. Yeah,
who else?
It's a good point. It's a good point. We're going to get to it more later on, or in the next parak, whatever, that about this issue again. But Torah Rabbanim. So now here we start with the Bayer, okay? Try and listen up well. Again, you don't have to know necessarily the Gemara so clear as to what the Gemara comes out with. But here, the Torah Rabbanim. Let's say you have food in front of you. Bayer v'aychel, Bayer umaniach. So you can choose what you want and eat it. You could choose what you want and put it down. But lo yivrar, and don't do Bayer, v'imbirer. But if you do Bayer, you chayiv chatas. Again, so it says that you have food in front of you, you could do Bayer and either eat it or put it away. And then it says, don't do Bayer, and if you do chayiv chatas. So clearly there's something that we're missing from this brisa. Because the brisa is saying, do Bayer, don't do Bayer. So my kamar, what's it saying? So Amar Ula Hachi Kamar, Bayer v'aychel l'bay bayayim. You can do Bayer for the food for that day, and you can do Bayer and leave it for that day, but you cannot do Bayer for tomorrow. And if you're going to do that, then you chayiv chatas. Okay, so the first teretz that the Bryce is saying is that you have to do Bayer for that day and not for tomorrow.
Wouldn't that be preparation?
What?
Yeah, wouldn't that be hachana?
Wouldn't that be a preparation thing? Hachana?
Yeah, so that's what it's saying. So it's
nothing to do with Bayer, it's hachana. You can't do anything.
Well, no, but it's a din in
You
Bayer.
can't make plans for tomorrow.
It's a din, no, but even without that, even if the word hachana is a derabanan. Hachana is a derabanan. This is a deraisa. So maskiv lo Rav Chisda v'chi mutar lefos l'bay b'yoyim v'chi mutar levashal l'bay b'yoyim. Is it mutar to cook for today? Is it mutar to bake for today? Of course not, right? Well, since when do we matter things if it's for that Shabbos? Elo amar Rav Chisda bayra v'aychel pachas mikashir, bayra maniach pachas mikashir. So what you do is you can do bayra and eat if it's less than a shear, less than a minimum amount, right? Which is a groigris, Rashi says. Bayra maniach pachas mikashir. But you can't do butter of a groigris. And if you do, you chayiv chatas. Okay, that's that teretz. So maskul Rav Yosef, is it? Since when do we ever see that it's mutar lechatchila to do something less than the amount? You're not allowed to do any amount, right? You're not allowed to do any amount. But if you did, you're going to be potter. So that can't be. So Ella Amar Rav Yosef. Now here's where we start the halacha l'maisa. Bayra v'aychel biyad. You could do butter with your hand. The kanin of a tamchui lo yivro. You cannot do it with a knain and a tamchui, which is like a plate. It's like a funnel and a plate. The imbira potter. If you do butter with a funnel and a plate, you're potter. Aval also, but it's also to do it. Ubenafu v'kvara with a sieve and a sifter lo yivro. You're not allowed to do butter. Imbira chayiv chatas. If you did do butter, chayiv chatas. So this is the first practical one. Is that you have to do butter with your hands. You cannot use a utensil. And depending on which type of utensils, whether you're going to be, it's also midaraisa. If you use a sifter, a sifter or a sieve, then that's going to be it's a daraisa. If you use a nafo kvara, that's not is a daraisa, but you're not allowed to do it. So basically, the first rule is Butter has to be done with your hand. Doesn't say anywhere in the brisa that you're doing it with a funnel or a plate. And this is the second halacha we learn out from this Gemara. You can do butter. You can take the good from the bad. You can do butter and place it down, the good from the bad. Now this is really scary. Okay, if you take the bad from the good, then you're chayiv chatas, right? So basically, if you're eating jelly beans, the poskim love to the contemporary poskim love to use jelly beans as an example. I don't know why, right? But let's say you got the jelly beans, yeah. You got all.
No one knows
colors.
why they make the black ones. That's why.
Correct. I guess that's why, right? There you go. Right. So
yeah,
you don't like.
There are those who will not eat certain jelly beans. I'm not sure you can understand that, but there are some people that won't.
Okay, because I'm equal opportunity eater, so I don't understand this. That's what he means by that. In case anybody didn't get it. Okay. Eggplant is pretty much the eggplant and avocado is pretty much the only things that are off my list. Everything else is on. It's fair game. Okay, but anyways,
you eat the booger flavored jelly beans?
I'll eat whatever. But anyway,
he doesn't eat sushi, and you don't drink coffee.
I don't know.
Pacha, no pacha.
Pacha, yeah. Anyway,
pacha's on my list. No way.
Okay, there you go. Okay, because that's because the previous Gemara, because you don't want to be stuck eating chaylev by mistake, because you're erlechiyin. But anyways, using the jelly beans example, right? So nobody wants the black jelly beans. So it sounds like from this Gemara, if you take out the black jelly beans from the pile of jelly beans, that is a chiyuv koris on Shabbos. Now, we don't like to use chiyuv koris. So you have to bring a korban, meaning it's an issa daraisa to take the jelly, the things that you don't like, right? So if you have a plate, let's say of, I don't know, gefilte fish with carrots, right? And the carrots are all mixed in. If you take the carrots off, then that could be bar daraisa. That's what's scary about this. Okay, so that's the second thing. The second requirement is you have to take the good from the bad. So far we have that you have to use your hands. Now, by the way, forks and knives are considered an extension of the hand. So don't use it as an excuse to eat with your hands. Okay,
You're going along the mindset.
What?
You should put in the kula of the Taz while we're at it. Take out a little bit of good with it.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. Yeah, so we'll get to that. But very good.
What happens if I don't like black jelly beans, but you like black jelly beans?
That's a big right. So that's a big shayla in the poskim. Very good. That's a big shayla in the poskim. Right. If I could do it on your behalf, if you like it, I don't like it. Yeah. But anyways, I just want to make sure we get the main three things, because basically, if you know these three rules that this Gemara comes out with, then you don't have any butter issues. Again, so far we have two. One, it's got to be done with your hand. And forks and knives are considered an extension of the hand, forks, knives, spoons. And the second one is that you have to take the good from the bad. Does this price say anything about taking the good from the bad? And by the way, psilas means bad. It doesn't have to necessarily mean bad, right? If the jelly beans, you don't want the black jelly beans now, let's say you want it later, so that's also considered bad. Food can also be, good can be bad, meaning it's what you don't want now has the din of bad. Yeah? This is the third and final one. This is the one that people make mistake with. You're allowed to do butter and eat it immediately. And you can be butter and put it down, let's say, on your plate. But you are not allowed to do butter for that day. And if you do it for that day, then it's as if if not for immediate use, as if you're doing it to store, and you're going to be chayiv chatas.
So what's a maniach la'alter mean?
1 second. Amru Rabbana Kamei the Rabba, Amru Shapir Amr Nachmani. Nachmani was a nickname for Abaya, right? Abaya said a good thing. Okay?
That was his name, no? His name was Nachman.
Yeah. So that's what it said, but that's the name for Abaya. Now, so the third one is that has to be for immediate use, not for later. What does later mean? Later could be in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? It has to be something for right now. Okay? So, meaning the classic thing is if you want to set the table, right? So you have a whole pile of forks and knives. So you say, okay, I'm going to only take the good from the bad. Fine. But if you're setting the table Friday night for Shabbos day, then that's no good, because that's doing butter for later. Even if you did good from bad, it's butter for later. Same thing if you want to take out your clothing on Friday night and you want to set it out because you know that you're going to be running late Shabbos morning, right? For those that daven with a minyan. Yeah, so you'll be running late. So then you want to put out your clothing. That's also butter. Even if you take the good clothing from the bad, it's butter if it's meant for later, right? So that
Wait, if I do that at night, isn't that the last possible chance before?
What?
To set my clothing out, to separate my clothing.
Yeah.
If I know I'm going to be late, I always wake up late, and that'll be the quickest way to do it. That is immediate.
It's not immediate. It's you're doing it at 10 o'clock at night, and you're not getting dressed.
Closest I can get, though.
That's schwach. That's schwach.
No.
Yeah. The same thing with the women that want to set the table or whatever, even before shul. Right? You can't set the table before shul because it's butter. Right?
Is that if you have like separators within your jars?
No, that's fine. That's not a mixture. See, that the Gemara is not discussing exactly what a mixture is. This is all assuming that you have a mixture. If it's not a mixture, it's no problem. Like if you go into your drawers and your drawer has a separate section for knives, forks, spoons, that's not butter.
And is that taking a jacket out of the closet is butter?
It depends it really depends how it's in there.
Even if you have to move another jacket over?
That's maybe taking the bad away from the good. Yeah, that's possible.
You're moving it over.
We're not talking about an ugly jacket. We're talking about a nice jacket that he plans on wearing.
No, so what? What are you saying? No, but he said he's pushing away the jacket he doesn't want.
Yeah.
He's not taking it away.
Why? He's pushing it away. Well, it depends if it's really considered a mixture. How many jackets are they so different from each other? Right? If they're really pretty much the same. There's no butter. You could have oranges, right? Oranges come in different sizes. Right? Is it butter to take one particular orange from the other? No, because there's nothing different about them. Right? That's a whole different complicated thing, exactly what's defined as a mixture. We're assuming now that it's considered a mixture.
And what if you have like a sock drawer and an underwear drawer and an undershirt drawer, but you're choosing what socks you want to wear for Shabbos morning?
So it would depend. It really depends on the different socks that you have. If they're pretty much the same socks, then there's no butter involved there. But if you have like white socks, right, and tube socks, whatever you want to call it, exercise socks, and then you have blacks, have dress socks, then that would be a mixture. Then you'd have an issue.
Right? So Yaakov, butter miyad, it seems to be one of the categories. It seems to be a svar because it's not the normal way of doing it. But if you using your hands to remove a jacket is the normal way of doing it. By food, we say miyad is not a normal way of doing it. But butter, when you grab a jacket or your clothing, that's a normal way of doing it. Well, again,
it would depend. It really depends on what types of jackets you have hanging in your closet.
Well, what I'm saying is that the whole part of the heter of use, not the heter, but
you want to say that jacket is not a mixture. Is that what you're saying? You want to say jacket is not a mixture?
No, what I'm saying is that the Gemara seems to imply that biyad, the reason why biyad worked is because normally brera, when it comes to food, is with some type of kli. But when it comes to non-food items, when I want to, the normal way to be mevarer your jacket, if you're taking it one from another, is by grabbing it with your hands. That is the normal way. That's not the not normal way would be to.
That's not the chilik. Chilik is one, but it's derech achila if you do it miyad biyad liyad. It's not.
That's not the way Rashi explains it.
Well, it's all of these things.
Rashi says, which Rashi is that? Rashi keeps on stressing she'ein zed derech bayrin. She'ein zed derech bayrin.
Yes, what is it? What
fills
the void?
Rashi says, "Mutar what happened to dami lebrera? The kalacha yadu, the ikar brera benafa v'kava v'yad loy dami lebrera kval." Rashi says it's not dami lebrera, not because it's for derech achila.
All this is not an issue if you're wearing the jacket right away, right? If you leave it to shul and you get coat. No, why? You gotta take good for bad miyad.
Yeah, but the problem was moving that jacket out of the way.
No, the point with all these things is the reason butter, like we said, these things have to be malacha the way they did in the mishkan. So the reason they did it in the mishkan was for long-term storage. So anything that's going to be different is not going to be butter. So so they were doing it for more of on a industrial level. So on an industrial level, you don't take the good from the bad. You take the bad, you get the bad out of the good. Right, which actually comes into Hilchos Yom Tif, which we're not going to discuss that now. But and then doing it for immediate use is also not a way you do butter on an industrial level, right? In the Mishkan, it wasn't done like that either, and it wasn't done for miyad. It was done for later. So that's really what it is. So.
Do you need all three? That's what I'm asking. Do you need all three,
you
or
need to
one
meet
of them?
all three requirements.
So that was part of my question. My question was,
that's
if you
a
don't
good
meet
question.
one of those,
yes, Akiva. That's
if you don't have bar, if the idea is that bar biyad, if it's a normal way of doing it, so then why wouldn't that be a problem?
Right. So that's a good question. That's actually a good question. Why do you need
Sounds
all
like
three?
there's got to be done on like an industrial scale in order to be chayiv.
Right. So just one of them should be, and that's what Akiva is asking. Or just one of them should make it not on an industrial scale.
Why?
Because just one now makes it different than the way it was done in the Mishkan. No? Okay, that's already done. Let's go back because we got more to go.
But that's what I just want to clarify one thing. If I want to get a jacket or a raincoat or something or a scarf or gloves out of my closet on Shabbos, you can move stuff away to get it. You do it in the yard.
It depends. It really depends if it's a mixture. If it's a mixture, then you can't. If it's a mixture, you can't.
Each time he moves a jacket over, he's selecting that jacket. I want to see if this is the one. He moves it to the side. I don't want this one. Okay, so then I'm going to go to the next one.
So that's a different thing with butter. That might not be butter because you're just doing the first thing that you grab. These are all advanced butter things, right?
All right, just go out naked. Let's go. Yalla.
By the way, just one thing. Abaya was brought up by Rabbi Bar Nachmani, regular Rabbi.
Right.
That's why we call, and because Abaya was an orphan, so that's why.
Nachmani. Yeah.
The rabbi couldn't go Nachmani.
And he had the lady that we were quoting a few.
Yeah, we had this already, Israel. You came late.
Yaakov
said this already. Yeah. Go back.
Okay,
bye.
Weiter. Ravashi Masni.
Yeah, but that was that was an orphan from his mother. Didn't say that.
Okay, weiter. Let's go. If you had in front of you two types of foods, a beer v'achol, a beer v'aniach, and you did butter and you ate it, or you did butter and you placed it down. Ravashi Masni Potter, Rav Yirmi Abdifti Masni Chayev. Ravashi says Potter, and Rav Yirmi Abdifti says Chayev. Ravashi Masni Potter, Vatani Chayev. We learned Chayev like Kasha Haba Knain V'Tam Chayev and Haba Kfar. Right. So anytime you're gonna have a stira in virus, you're gonna say one is talking about a funnel and a plate, and the other one's talking about a sieve and a sifter. Kiyosar Rav Dimi Omer Shabsad the Rabibi Havai. There was Rabibi's Shabbos, right? He was in charge one Shabbos. The Ikla Rabbi Ami Ravasi and Rabbi Ami Ravasi traveled. They showed the Kamayel Kalkala the Peri, and he put in front of them a whole basket of pears, but he did not separate. Rashi says he did not separate. He could put a basket of fruit in front of them, and he didn't. See, it's not only the Rebbes that put fruit out when there's guests. I guess it happened way back when too, right? And they didn't, but he didn't separate all the bad things from the fruit. So they thought, maybe we didn't know whether he thought that taking the good from the bad is even also, which we just paskin, that's fine. Or was it because of an ayin yafa that he didn't want to touch any of the things? He just wanted to show, generosity. Fine. If you do butter of turmusin, that's some sort of beans, right? So mitayp psalish and you're chayiv. Now that's good from bad because the turmusin is the good part. That's the bean. You're taking it from the psalis, from the junk. You're chayiv. So we're going to say that Chizkiah says that eating good from the bad is also no. So shani turmusim the shalki lay shiva zimni turmusin you boil 7 times. Be like shakli lay, and if you don't take out the bean from it, misrach, it's going to get decayed. And therefore, even taking the good from the bad is like psilas from eichel. Okay? Grinding. Amra papa. Haiman, the parim silka, somebody that cuts up beets. Chayiv mishum teichen, that's grinding. Okay? Now the chiddush is grinding normally is you take something and you make it type to a powdery form. Here he's saying even if you just cut it up, you're going to be chayiv for teichen. Amra Rashi Haiman, the salas silti, somebody who cuts up wood. Chayiv mishum teichen is also teichen. Amar Ravashi yikapid amish amashchasa chayiv mishum mechatech. And if he's makbid on the size, then he could be chayiv mechatech, which is cutting something down. Now there's a lot to be learned here too. The main thing is that teichen is really only on also things that grow from the ground, not on anything else. Okay, because those are a couple of examples of the Gemara things. Now
why is the man the so silsi mechatech?
No, if you cut down the wood to a specific size, then it's mechatech. If you want it to be a certain size, then it's mechatech. Right?
Well, why does the size make a difference in the?
No, because mechatech is pshat, that you're cutting something down to a proper size. The most classic example.
No, I'm not asking out mechatech. I'm asking out teichen.
No, because if you cut anything to small size, that's teichen. You're not really supposed to make Israeli salad on Shabbos, because that's teichen. Even though that's not grinding, nobody's going to say that it's grinding. But that's what the Gemara is saying here. Cutting things up to very small little pieces is grinding. Okay, it's a form of grinding. Okay,
it's an issur deraisa.
No, it's not going to be a deraisa. Well, he says chayiv. The truth is, he says chayiv. So if you're really cutting it up small, but that has to be really, really small in order to.
What, Israeli salad is issur deraisa?
No, Israeli salad's still big enough, I think. That's. I mean, you got to cut it up really, really fine.
When you take eggs and you do egg salad.
Yeah, so eggs don't grow from the ground. So, but yeah, real teichen, yeah, if you cut it up to very, very, very small.
By the way, mincing is a very fine cutting. I mean, you're talking very, very small pieces versus a chopped type of cutting.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's right. Very good, Simon. Yeah.
What about challah?
What about it?
No, sometimes you sit there at the end of the suda, you're sitting there.
No, so that's not a problem because it ain't teichen acher teichen. That's another rule. There's no grinding after grinding. So since it was already ground because it was flour, then it's not a problem. Which is why, what's the major chumrah that we learn out from teichen? You're not allowed to take medication on Shabbos. Why? Because we're afraid you're going to grind it, right? So that's, but that's what's funny nowadays. If you have a heter to take a pill, then you could actually grind it because it ain't teichen acher teichen. Right, that's one of the many quirks of the halacha. Okay, if kneading.
So Yaakov, why is Byra different that doesn't have to be gedula karka?
Oh, that's a good question. I thought you were going to ask something else. That why is Byra is malacha she'ein tzricha legufa? Also,
I didn't get to that. I'm not that far, but I'm just saying. Sam, why do all the other ones seem to require a gedula karka?
Means why are some gedula karka and some not?
Right.
Why is it a malacha she'ein tzricha legufa?
Because what are you doing it for?
Right. It's the ultimate malacha she'ein tzricha legufa.
Right. You don't want it to be separate. You're not looking to separate. You just want to get your food that you like.
And in the mishkan.
What?
And in the mishkan, what was the malacha?
The malacha is that they needed to separate the chaff and all that. Right?
Isn't there a big Beis Yosef on it?
Is Beis Yosef discuss it? Well, I'm mistama because the Rishonim are asked all this.
Taisus celebrate or something, and the Beis Yosef brings it.
Okay, yeah, good. So that's whenever anybody says, yeah, the Rishonim talk about it, that means you don't remember the answer. Yeah,
but if you're doing it for somebody else, then it's a malacha she'ein tzricha legufa.
All right, that's true. I hear that. Okay. Anyways, weiter. I happen to be writing on Byron now for Shayoshev Shabbos emails. I write those. They send out halachas. I happen to be in the middle of Byron now, and I still can't remember. You know what I mean? That just shows you. All right. Anyways, one who needs and is baking. Samara Papa. So it's an excellent question. There was no baking in the mishkan, right? I mean, there was baking with the shtei. Okay, but in the construction of the mishkan, there was nothing going on that was baking. They cooked, right? They cooked the samamanim, mishkan, but not good oifa. But so why are you going with baking as opposed to cooking? So which meaning it's the same thing, same isser, baking, cooking. Tana didon sidur at the pas no, because our Tana is going with the order of bread. Since it's going with the order of bread, so you bake bread, you don't cook bread. Why
was it going with the order of bread?
What I mean, that it's called sidur at the pas. The first.
I know why. Who decided that he should be going with the order of bread?
No, because it's going with everything else that went till then is going. It's wheat and all that type of stuff. Right? It's in order to bake bread.
The Gemara is asking that technically the other ones in the Mishnah.
Muting me. I can't. It's hard to focus.
Yeah. What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry. 2-minute warning, and that you're done. I'm sorry. It's the last 2 minutes.
Okay, let's go back to The pshat is because the baking had nothing to do with the building of the mishkan. Everything else did. Okay. This person who put a bowl into a fire, he's chayav for cooking it. Meaning they put it in there in order to form it, right? You take it, make it out of mud or whatever, and then you put it into form it. So Mao, the same with the shuri, so you would think that the reason why he's doing it to make it soft. No, so what happens is it gets soft, then it gets hard. So you would think, meaning cooking softens. That's what cooking does, right? Cooking softens things. You take like a pasta that's hard and you cook it, you make it soft. Right? Anything that you take vegetable soup and it's hard and then you make it into soup and it's soft. That's what cooking does. So this thing, you would think maybe you're trying to make it hard, so therefore that's the opposite of cooking. No, so because first it gets soft and then it gets hard, right? I think I touched it. The same with the shuri that you're trying to make it just make it hard, right? First it gets soft and then it gets hard. Right, so this guy that also wants to how do they touch kufra? It's a pitch, right? Rashi says it's zephyr. So he wants to put in, you got to heat up the tar. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. I'm on the arsach kufra chai mishum bavashal. Pshita. That's also pashamal. The same even the harder rakusha a maloi. Since the tar gets harder afterwards, I would think it's not a problem. Kamash malon. Amarava. I'm on the oven chavisa. If a man makes a barrel, chai mishum sheva. Yes.
Is this the problem? Is this the problem with heating up something that's sitting in like fat, like congealed fat?
Well, that's also a moilid issue, where you're creating a new entity. Besides for that,
meaning it was liquid, then turned into solid because you had it Friday night, and then you want to have it Shabbos day.
No, so that's right. So that's not going to be an isser of bishul because it was already cooked, but it's an isser of taking something and making it into a new entity.
So it would not be this.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, his case might not be moiled.
What?
His case might not be moiled if it was liquid Friday night.
Okay, that could be because Friday night it was still right. Okay, that's true. Yeah. If you make a barrel, you chai for 7 things, which Rashi says is grinding, and then boirer, and then sifting, and then kneading, and then what else? Mamachik smoothing, and then burning it in the fire. Okay. Tanura chai mishum shmeina chatais. If you make a tanur, you're gonna add on 1 more chatas. Amar Abai, Ayman David Chalsa. If you make a basket, chayiv achas esrei chatos, you're gonna have 11 different things that you're gonna be over on if you make a basket. V'chayte lepume chayiv shalosh esrei chatos. And if you're gonna put a cover on it and make a mouth, then you're gonna be chayiv on 13 chatos. Okay, hagoyz is a tzemar olavnoi. Let's just do that quickly. It's pretty easy. If you spin the wool while it's still on the animal, you have 3 chatois. It's shearing, meaning taking off the wool. And it's combing. And 1 because of spinning. That's not the normal way to do it. You don't do these things while they're still on the animal. But it's not true. He says that you could do these things on the animal, so you see that it's it can be done. So when it answers chachma, you say Rashan, that takes extreme chachma in order to do that. So therefore, that's not going to be your regular run-of-the-mill thing that you're going to be chayiv on.
But that's how they did it in the mishkan, no?
Correct, but it takes a chachma yisera. Okay, we got to finish. Somebody who rips out the feathers from a bird, right? Is going to be chayiv, and then you cut it, and then you spin it, and you're going to be chayiv 3 chatos. If you pull it out, it's geizes. That's shearing. If you cut off the feather, that's mechatach. That's cutting something down to size. And if you're going to pull out the little strings that are in it, then that's machik. That's considered smoothing or smearing, whatever it is. Okay, so that's enough for tonight. A good enough. Reb Zev, what, you tired tonight, huh? I think because I got a couple of darche questions about tuition while we were on this daf, so maybe that's why. They sent out the tuition bills for next year. He's muted.
He's muted. Listen, in the last 2 minutes, we pulled the goalie, and, all hands are on deck to get it over with. So
there you go.
Forgive me,
All right,
everybody.
Peretz, I'll be waiting
I'm not
for you
liking
for
this
Meir.
thing. I'm not liking this having to be done at 10. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes, I'm with you 100%. I am with you 100%.
So stop dominating with a minion.
I hear that.
Me and Aaron Kaplan have no problem with it, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
Because you guys
like
worked
land- that's
you guys
the
worked
Landau
real
and-
hard on tonight's stuff.
Reb Tzviakov, can I call you after mine?
They're just kind
He's
of
a-
and Dovey. It's fine.
It's about tuition, you can't.
Call me in 20 minutes.
Zevy's
All right.
let him go to sleep.
Good enough, everybody.
That's the long Meyer, Tzviakov.
Yaakov, you don't have to wait for me because we started cheer at 8, and I have no way I'm driving.
All right. Fine. At least you got something out of it, Peretz.
Where's Zevy? We have to discuss stuff with Zevy. Zevy, where are you?
Peretz, I don't get you, man. I drive better when I'm drunk.
Zevy left already?
Yeah.
We had some very important stuff we had to discuss.
Zevy's gonna cup another Meyer.
Peretz, you don't see
Really
more
hard
cars when you're drunk?